Ladies and gentlemen, get ready because tonight's show isn't just messy, it's a real-life battleground. Remy Ma, the former queen of loyalty in hip-hop, went through the most public breakdown of her career, which is why Claressa Shields. Imagine. This Claressa walks out with Papoose's hand in hers, dripping with confidence and disrespect. Before Remy Ma can even catch her breath, cameras start rolling and fists start flying. No, it's not a diss track or a Twitter feud. This is a real-life showdown captured in 4K. The internet is asking, was this love? Was this war? Or was this the final chapter of Remy Ma's Black Love legacy, shredded by Claressa Shields in broad daylight? As the video shows Claressa completely breaking down and attacking her in front of shocked fans. Paparazzi flashes and a world that could not believe their eyes. The footage is so brutal that it's not even a word, with its legendary tears, screams, wig snatch attempt, and Papoose standing there looking like he just saw two hurricanes collide. Let's not sugarcoat it, but what you're about to witness is uglier than Rhee's Bet cipher without a beat. According to Remy Ma, it wasn't a miscommunication, a shade post, or a small-minded subtweet. Rather, it was a full-blown emotional outburst captured on camera live, raw and unapologetic. Fast forward 48 hours, and Claressa Shields, the unbeaten boxing queen, beauty brand ambassador, and now reportedly the official destroyer of hip-hop royalty, appeared at a private event in Brooklyn with Papoose by her side, not in hiding. In addition to holding hands, Claressa turned to the paparazzi and said, "He's mine. Now let her deal with that." Boom. The crowd gasped, and photographers snapped pictures as if they were capturing Bigfoot. Remy Ma was nearby, watching with her phone in hand and her jaw clenched, ready to explode. This is where things get historically messy, according to several very credible but anonymous sources. Remy Ma was already tense before the footage was released. She had been seeing the gym selfies and knew Papoose had been traveling for brand deals far more than usual, especially to cities where Claressa happened to be. However, she told her team not to worry and let them talk about it. "Papa loves me," she said, "but he's still solid." For weeks, people had been speculating that something wasn't right, and their anniversary had gone by without any posts. Papoose was also seen by himself at events that Remy used to host, and worst of all, he unfollowed her close friends' accounts. The first red flag was the filtered emoji-coded vault of secrets. But the last straw was Claressa's live the night before the fight. She was getting ready with me and wearing shields before the questions began to come in. One fan asked, "Are the Papoose rumors true?" And Claressa, sporting the most unconcerned smirk in Instagram history, leaned into the camera and said, "You'll see tomorrow, I don't do side chick energy. I'm front row, spotlight, and diamond ring ready." He winked, and then the live stream ended with no explanation or clarification, just the kind of silence that feels like a dare. Fast forward to the following day, when Claressa and Papoose entered the private gala as if they own the block. And Remy Ma, who didn't even know they were going, is already there as a special guest, getting ready to present an award. For a second, let that cook. Remy Ma was on the microphone when Claressa entered with her man. "You can't write this, but we did. Let's set the scene for the video." Yes, the video begins with Remy grinning on stage while speaking about industry, loyalty, and how it cripples her. Then, as she is speaking, her face freezes. The camera zooms in, and you can see her blink rate slow down. You can also see the internal earthquake hit her chest as Papoose walks in. Claressa is holding his arm. They stop by the bar for a whisper, and she kisses him on the cheek before Remy drops the microphone. There is a pause, and she kisses him on the cheek. No, security is called because they believe something happened. Remy Ma left the stage like a woman in full Beyoncé and Lemonade mode, walking straight toward the couple with her heels clacking like a ticking time bomb. When she gets to Claressa, everything goes crazy. To be clear, no punches were thrown, but there were attempts, according to sources, as Remy lunged forward, yelled something about disrespect, and attempted to grab Claressa's the room gasped. as Claressa raised her ponytail, which one witness claimed was laid for war, and said, "You're mad because I'm everything you faked being." Yes, security began dragging and filming, and Papoose simply stood there with his arms folded and not even blinking. That's when Remy really lost it. "You stood beside me through prison, through scandal, and through childbirth, and now this is who you want to stand next to, a discount champion with lip gloss." The video ends with someone shouting, "Put that on Twitter. Remy Ma lost it, and boy did they ever." Within 10 minutes, the clip appeared on TikTok, and 20 minutes later, Shadroom had it for an hour. Hashtag Remy versus Claressa was trending globally. But what's truly amazing is what happened after the footage dropped, because the internet didn't side. The real war started the moment that champagne glass hit the floor. Let's talk about the footage that was posted by a random event assistant named @YourFavesBlug. It was a 37-second shaky phone clip that broke the internet faster than any diss track ever could. By the time the sun came up, it had been reposted more than 17,000 times. Through 30 TikTokers performing dramatic reenactments, and it was used in 3 different movies. Twitter accounts titled "Is Remy Ma Done for Good?" were followed by a deluge of fake content, according to Instagram leaker Instamo44. Remy Ma had been pleading with Claressa to stop publicly disparaging their family for weeks. One of the purported direct messages said, "You had your moment. He'll come back. He always does." Claressa allegedly responded, "He's not a boomerang, sis." Then came the voice note, which was obviously fake, but it still went viral. It showed someone who sounded like Remy, crying and shouting, taking everything I had built, standing by him. And now she's showing him off like a trophy. Twitter went crazy with it, with people tweeting that it was a war zone, with Remy building Papoose from the ground up and Claressa flipping the blueprint. This isn't black love, it's blackmail by Claressa. And just when it seemed like maybe things would slow down, Papoose posted, "That's right." Suddenly, he posts a black and white picture of himself and Claressa with no caption. Just the words, "They don't believe in us." The internet erupts, with Rise fans betraying Clarissa's fans, neutral fans triumphant, and popcorn out. But wait, it gets worse, because now brand accounts are weighing in. Uber Eats posted, "We don't deliver drama, but we saw that slap." In the meantime, VH1 refused to remain silent within 24 hours of the gala fight, releasing an old unaired clip from a Love and Hip Hop reunion that never aired, featuring Remy Ma crying backstage, whispering, "If he ever steps out on me, I'm done. No second chances." I don't play that. Fashion Nova tweeted, "Remy wore our jeans last year. Claressa was wearing the crown, and now hashtag he loves her down." Even Popeye joined in. Someone check on Remy. The clip received 4 million views in just 2 hours, and people were stitching it, with Claressa's "He's Mine Now" moment, making it seem like a Shakespearean tragedy in 4K. Even worse, a fan-made fight remix featuring the Slaps Audio Re's arrogant chorus. And Claressa's yelling, "He's mine now. I'm conceited. Slap, he's mine now," was trending #1 on TikTok. Following the gym cam breach, someone shared shaky surveillance footage of Papoose from a gym where Claressa works out. Weeks before the fight, she is sparring in a private session while he laughs and she throws punches. At one point, she mouths something that lip readers on TikTok translated as "she can rap, but she can't fight." Yes, the internet believed it, whether it was true or not. And shortly after the gym video was released, Cardi B uploaded a gif of popcorn with the caption, "I know what y'all are here for." Remy Joe posted a single emoji. Fans think it was about Remy, others think he was making an effort to remain impartial, but let's face it, nobody is impartial anymore. Then there was an alleged leaked screenshot from a group chat purportedly called Team Claressa, with the remark, "If Remy swings again, make sure we get 2 angles of this DOA series going to eat people who believe it." Even Nicki Minaj supporters slid in with "Karma's got hands" and footwork. The text watch and a narrative post with a black background are all that are visible in Remy's deafening silence. Whom you construct with, they might move in with your opponent, which only made matters worse because fans were now wondering, did Remy actually build Papoose, or did she just hold him hostage in loyalty cosplay? Is Claressa the enemy or the upgrade? Then Claressa went live once again, full face beat, no apologies, just vibes. They say I came between love and reality, but I just replaced a fantasy with reality. And he's now, so I don't need to explain. She then turned the camera to see Papoose cooking. Stated, we heal aloud to instant chaos in the backdrop. Remember that Claressa didn't throw a punch that night? Instead, she smirked, avoided conflict, and kept her earrings in place. Now that the world has seen it on repeat in high definition, you can guess what's coming next. Rumors of court documents, a potential bar-for-bar response, and rumors that Claressa is getting a Netflix documentary called Punchlines to Punches. But before we get to all of that, let's talk about the consequences. Let's talk about silence, and let's talk about the cost of losing a man in public to a woman who prepared for it. As a result, following the slap, the DMIs, the leaked gym footage, and the TikTok remixes, everything was destroyed because this wasn't a single incident. Rather, it was a media massacre. And Remy Ma wasn't just bleeding, she was bleeding clout. Let's start with the damage control. According to a very trustworthy, fictitious PR insider from elite image firm, Remy Ma's team held an emergency Zoom call called Operation Save Remy Silence or Statement, during which they allegedly discussed a disc, a heartfelt Instagram live, or a legally vetted press release blaming emotional distress. But before they could make a decision, the sponsorship began to scuttle. Initially, Remy was scheduled to launch a beauty brand called Timeless Loyalty Gone. But she was abruptly replaced by Taraji P. Henson at a paid speaking event called Hip Hop and Healing. Meanwhile, Claressa, who is doing well, posted an outfit. Real with the caption, still undefeated on every front. She shared a rotating image with the caption for the photo, which had her sitting on his knee, a fuzzy selfie in the mirror. And a boomerang of him tying her shoe said, I don't chase, I attract. According to a leaked cease and desist letter, Rhee's lawyers warned Claressa to stop using Papoose's name in a romantic or public promotional context. Claressa posted the last picture of them holding hands outside what fans thought was a courthouse, which sparked the hysteria, but Remy wasn't prepared to leave quietly. Twitter erupted when she saw the first page of the letter on her story with the caption, Cease and sit down. Remy was attempting to copyright her ex-boyfriend, saying, cease and dismiss, girl, it's over. You can't trademark a man who packed his bags voluntarily. And just when Remy thought things couldn't get any worse, the bet was pulled out of a tribute segment honoring her legacy of love at an upcoming award show. The tribute was replaced with a new one called Modern Icons of Reinvention, which featured Claressa Shields. It isn't a cultural shift. It's not shade. Then came the fake. Whether it's true or not, the internet had already made up its mind when someone posted a blurry screenshot of purported court documents that showed Papoose filing for emotional transfer of loyalty rights and listing Claressa as the beneficiary. Was it a fake? Of course it went viral. But even more bizarre was when someone claimed to have seen Remy outside the courthouse, wearing sunglasses and a hoodie, holding back tears while screaming, "It was supposed to be me." Then came the remixes, a slowed-down version of Claressa saying, "He's mine now." A video of Remy shouting, "Disloyalty is death," cuts in from an old interview with the tagline, "This wasn't a fight. It was a farewell," set to melancholy piano music. One comment on TikTok read, "This is the first time I've ever seen a rap legacy ended by a boxing stance and a one-liner." Even Fat Joe, who had said nothing during this entire ordeal, released an enigmatic Instagram story with the caption, "Some people keep receipts. Some people become embittered." Fans thought it was about Claressa right away, but Remy shared a boomerang of her going by herself with a bag and said, "Sometimes silence is louder than screams." The video received 12,000 likes, while Clarissa's following reel received 1. The numbers were clear. Remy was losing in front of the world, loudly and in high definition. Just as things were beginning to calm down, Claressa showed up on The Breakfast Club. And Charlemagne asked her. The room went silent when Claressa said, "You really feel like Remy Ma crossed a line? Never had a line, just a spotlight." And when she didn't know how to share, she added, "I didn't steal anybody. I just showed up when she stopped showing up." Then, smirking into the microphone, she said, "He loves me down." That was it. Remy Ma's whole black love empire, which had been built over decades, was destroyed. Not Lauren after a TKO girl? Put the mic down and pick your piece up. This is what happens when you confuse silence with strategy. Claressa signed a Netflix deal for a reality series called Champion Energy and Remy Ma. She posted a black screen with a Lauryn Hill lyric. It could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. Following that, Papoose posted a picture of himself in a tux with the caption, "No regrets." At the end of the day, it wasn't just about a slap, a stolen man, or a broken plot, because it was about a crown, and it was handed off not in a ceremony, not in a verse, but in a vibe shift so loud it echoed across every feed. He loves me down for words, and Remy Ma's legacy is down for the count. The rumors are louder than ever. Will Remy Ma finally respond to the track? Will Papoose appear on Claressa's upcoming press tour? No distractions, no threats, just one entrance. One quote and one smirk that changed everything, and Remy Ma walked in a legend and walked out a headline. But is this really the end of Remy's black love empire? Or is this just the beginning of her revenge arc? That is the only question that remains. Where does Remy Ma go from here? And how does one recover from being publicly dethroned, not in silence? Not in secret, but in front of the world by a woman who hardly moved an inch. Are you on the side of Remy, who is still faithful to the foundation, or Claressa, the queen of peaceful chaos? If you believe that this was the round, you're not even in the right fight yet. Claressa, steal a man, or just reveal one who is already gone? Tell us in the comments, was this war long overdue, or was it a setup disguised as self-love? Celeb Tycoon is here, and we've only started.